without further ado. Here's your host, Chuck and Matt.
All right, so we're back on this. Now it's April 1st of Chuck and Mash. Good to be back. We were talking about the SAVE Act and voting and things like that. A lot of the information and a lot of the things that I react off of, and some of the things that I look at to get inspired for some of the topics that I want to bring to our podcast, is just Facebook. I talk a lot about...
So you like to go to a cesspool on your
I do. I mean, it's not the TikTok or anything else. I mean, what do you want to go to Fox News? Do you want to go to CNN? I mean, really, pick your cesspool. Just pick one. You know, throw your turd and let's see where it goes, because it's going to land in the right place. But really, here lately, the people that are defending Trump, the last few that really want to be vocal about it, because at this point, how do you defend the things that are going on now? One thing I see is when you finally get them cornered, because the statistics are there. If someone wants them to argue, if they want to debate, the statistics and the numbers are there that anyone that's actually MAGA, you really don't have a whole lot to argue. If you want to argue on the border, hey, I'm going to give it to you. You shut down the border, cool. Who all did you screw and how bad did you screw the Constitution to get there? We can argue that part and we'll go there. But yeah, hey, the border, I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it to you, Trump. I get it. But literally everything else, as far as affordability, humanity, financially, there's just no winning for MAGA. And I'm pretty quick to jump out there because, you know, I like to argue anyway. I'm probably arguing with a bot. And I don't know if this is an automatic setting for them, but they like to immediately say, once they lose all of their talking points, they just say, well, this is TDS. And this is TDS. And anytime I see any comment, even if it's not my argument, I scroll Facebook. If I see that somebody says TDS, I just go right under their reply and I leave this picture right there. Enough said. And half of them, I mean, the other day a dude was like, oh, well, that's you weirdo. And I was like, yeah, it's really weird that a Republican congressperson brought up that TDS should be an actual mental illness, and then weeks later gets caught for soliciting a minor, which shouldn't be anything surprising to anyone.
Oh, no.
You know, so, I mean, you see it all the time. These churches in the Congress church, yeah, I mean, I could probably look up today and find some sort of pastor, youth pastor. I'm not going to give the, liberals this on that, but I mean, because there's going to be some sort of person in government that's been caught or questioned on soliciting a minor or some sort of sex crime of some sort.
Well, you remember one of my previous rants that I had that about those who yell the loudest are often the ones who are guilty of it.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Did you know that churches, they carry pedo insurance? It has gotten to the point that the clergy, the people who are supposed to be showing you the light, showing you Jesus, of course, are the biggest monsters on the face of the earth. That churches all over this country have insurance to insure themselves from their staff and their clergy from diddling kids.
I've heard this, and it was something that I kind of wrote off because I was like, in some way you want to make sense of some of the things on the planet. Like, I was just like, yeah, what's the nuance here? What's the niche? What reasoning would there be for any church to actually have insurance? And what is that insurance for? What is it, like we get to collect something if we find our youth ministers a pedo? Or
yeah, it pays off
is
the
this
families.
legal? Or?
And it is to also help fund legal defenses. But I know a lot of people don't want to listen to me, especially when I go on about, those who are the loudest, those who are supposed to be the good guy, are the ones who are the worst that we have. They're the ones that are diddling kids. They're the ones who are doing this, that, the other thing. But if you don't want to believe me, that's cool. There's now an entire industry based upon protecting these people. There is an entire insurance industry based around coverage for diddling kids now.
Well, I'm going to jump out there and say this isn't Allstate or Aetna or Geico, right? Like,
I don't know. Hell, I need to pull that up.
we need to find out who these insurance entities are. And guaranteed they wouldn't be selling car insurance or anything like that on top of that. Surely. I mean, that's the most insane claim I've ever heard in my life.
Oh. Ooh, I don't like their name. Ministry Safe. Child sex abuse and insurance coverage. Oh, that's bad.
Ministry Safe.
Pyron Group Insurance is another one in this list.
Pyron Group Insurance, okay.
The Church Liability and Registered Sex Offenders from AGF or AG Financial. Southern Mutual Church Insurance. God, I can't believe I'm able to find this so easily.
This feels like a sick joke.
Dude, there's a presentation.
Is that something that we could show on here?
I mean, there's nothing like explicit on here. I just can't believe that they're showing this. Because it's a PDF format and oh my God. Dude, come around.
So if you're able to, maybe we can...
Yeah, I'm putting this on the screen for the viewers. You need to see this now. That's the cover.
Oh my God. Avoiding common pitfalls.
This is a publication.
Church executive publication. Is this where we're at in society?
This is a presentation for coverage. And it's the first fucking thing that came up.
So, but this is where we're at in society, right?
Yeah.
Where, and I'm guessing these are going to be these mega churches because some of these little piddly churches, they're not obviously going to be able to afford and
hey, there's a
keep this industry.
Frequently asked questions: how does this benefit my ministry? Son of a bitch!
I would like to know some of the answers to that.
Here's a list of what the coverage offers. I can get a quote right now. Should I?
Let's try it.
This is wild, dude. This is... Ooh, they want my actual information.
Well, I would imagine. I mean,
I'm pretty sure there may be some groups watching that website. I'm not giving you my name and address.
I would hope they are. That's a good point. I hope there's plenty of groups because why would you need that? Now, I'm going to go out on the limb and say if I'm a mega church making millions, which we can get into why that's good or bad, I guess I need to protect all of the assets and all of the money that we have because if little Timmy youth pastor decides to go overboard, I'm liable for that as a pastor. I mean, where
well, the church itself will be
planet are we on? Where we have pedo insurance, period.
I'm not the same man anymore.
I don't know what else I have to say about it.
I don't know what else I have to say about that.
So, okay. Pedo insurance. I get it. We'll leave it at that.
Who's worse, the monster doing it or the monster offering coverage to the monster?
That's to be determined.
You're making money off
capitalism.
I don't know what to say right now.
Okay, so anyway, on to the next subject. Let's do that. Candace Owens, the grifter that she is.
Yeah,
Here
she's
recently,
the grifter.
yeah, exactly. Candace Owens has always been a grifter. I've never been in favor of Candace Owens. Just because she speaks on something that I may agree with now doesn't mean I'm necessarily on her side because she's going to follow the money. In fact, I'm surprised she's not selling pedo insurance, actually.
I was about to say, can I take a moment? Because I know I've talked some shit about Erica Kirk and her grifting. They're literally grifting off kids getting diddled.
I'm trying to change the subject because I believe that when you showed the beginning of that, it speaks for itself, and everyone can just make their own judgment there. They don't need me to tell them what's wrong with the society.
I feel the fiery flames of hell upon me just for seeing that.
Just for clicking on that, yeah. But just remember, there's literally someone that actually went to protect their mega millions and their mega church.
A licensed business. They have a business license. They went to the local courthouse and got a business license, and they pay taxes to the government.
Right, but the church isn't.
No, the church pays off the insurance.
That insurance premium that they're paying is tax exempt. By the way, I need you to remember that one. On top of it, I know I'm making this worse for you.
It comes from donations.
I know I'm making this worse for you, but yeah. And remember, it's these churches. So anyway, let me get to the next point.
I need a drink.
Again, back to Candace Owens. The grifter herself. So much grifting. Here lately, she has actually spoke out against the Trump administration. I believe she's not really big on the ICE situation. She's not really big on, I think some of the sort of things that she chair-led for years, surprise, has not really come to fruition. And her trying to stay true to her word and her followers, she's actually trying to keep those morals and those values that she speaks of. But I have seen here lately that the Turning Point USA has actually issued her a cease and desist letter over defamation of character and some of the things that she said regarding Charlie Kirk's death.
Well, they'd have to prove that it was wrong, that she knew it was wrong. She said it out of malice, and that they have financially suffered because of it.
Right.
And I don't think TPUSA, as you call them, wants to go further with that, because that would give Miss Candace Owens their discovery.
Right. I have to agree, because I tell you, I had to go take a shower as soon as I realized this, but I found myself in a lot of agreement with her, where I don't like to go down the rabbit holes. I don't like to go into conspiracy, because she loves that sort of shit. She makes a whole lot of money on that sort of shit. And you were even bought into it as soon as Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. You started in on it. I blew it off. I was like, yeah, man, I sort of entertained, your thoughts, because I respect, what you're looking into. I didn't look into it myself, because I do want to take some things as face value. Is it really that crazy? It's kind of like the Trump era growing back. And
well, this one was so much faster, because one, I seen right after it happened, the unedited raw footage. There was no stopping on it. Graphic, horrific. And I'm like, I've dealt with firearms before. I've gone hunting, and I seen that, and my mind was like, okay, I almost know exactly where that shot came from. And then here comes Cash Patel and them. I'm like, that. No,
this doesn't add up.
None of that. I mean, immediately right off the bat, I fucking hate conspiracy theories.
Right.
And everything they said was complete fucking bullshit. And then they start talking about the weapon and how he disassembled it, reassembled, disassembled it, left the screwdriver, reassembled it over here, wrapped it in a towel for some fucking reason, and they find it in a box.
But here's the thing. They said it was a 30-06.
Yes.
There's not any time on the planet. There's not many mammals on this planet that there's not an exit wound from a 30-06 round.
Maybe if you
Maybe a
shot
rhino.
an elephant in the forehead aiming through its ass, the round may not come out.
That's exactly where I'm going with that.
But then
But you're talking about someone's neck.
they come up with these fake ass stories. There was something else about this. Is all the fake information that comes out.
Right.
When they was talking about the mortician, for some reason, apparently ran it. Just came up on a dude in the hallway in the hospital. He was hanging out for some reason and gave him all the details for some reason. And
Which is not going to happen.
no, that's complete and teetotal bullshit. Right. And they kept referring to the mortician as a man. I'm sorry, but it was a female. And they were talking about, they said that God made his skin so strong that the bullet did not exit the same other. Then why did he let it enter? You're claiming a literal fucking deity got involved in this? When has that ever happened before? Right.
And this is why it was so easy for me to write off all of Candace Owens stuff. I didn't even want to listen to it. I've blew off Candace for years and years, and I've been very successful at that.
I did not know that woman existed until a couple of weeks after the shooting.
Well, she's always been a grifter. She's always been a conservative grifter. She was a super Trumper, just everything, just banging
I've never seen her
whole. Hey, and she's an intelligent woman. She knows what she's doing. But the thing is it's just like Ben Shapiro. It's just like Tucker Carlson. I've wrote them all off as, this and that. Now, but I do want to get into Tucker Carlson because I think he is elevated beyond her and Ben Shapiro. But yeah, Candace Owens is the Ben Shapiro. Again, that's all she is. Ben Shapiro. She has her own followers. Ben Shapiro has his own followers. They're the exact same grift, in my opinion. So I just blew it off, and it was so easy to blow it off. And I do. Still to this day, I still blow it off. The whole Charlie Kirk thing, I blow it off. I'm like, hey, he's dead. What the hell can we do about it? There was a big falling out. And of course, in town, we want to paint murals. And everybody wanted to pretend like they gave a shit.
Why preserve the crime scene where you could just have it completely destroyed on a Sunday in Utah? You found people to work on a Sunday in Utah? Imagine that.
I mean, to get into it, but why was the crime scene? There wasn't even a crime scene. They literally
never saw
dug it up.
Crime tape.
They dug it up immediately after and covered it. Am I speaking wrong? In concrete?
Oh, no, you're absolutely right.
I mean, they immediately just covered it with...
This is first, I want to point out, this is a university, so if they're going to have, they claim that this is already in the works. So if you're going to make modifications and changes and stuff like that, you got to get engineers out there, you got to get building plans, you got to have meetings and talking about how you're going to
financially pay for this. You have to have a board that's going to have to...
You have to have board meetings.
Release these funds for this, yeah.
Getting funding for it, and then you have to get approval from the city to be able to have the construction going on. Why? Where's this fucking paper trail?
I'm just wondering.
Think about the paper trail you create
for a couple of days to do the crime scene analysis for it.
But think about the paperwork you create if you want to change your front porch or put an awning on your home, right. And then have this company come out in such short notice to do all this work. What the hell?
Right.
I mean, and the thing is, I hate to even call it a conspiracy theory because we're just being lied to by those in power. This is so blatantly obvious. We're not even getting down to the whole Zapruder film kind of shit of back and to the left and all these conspiracies of how many shooters there were, how many shots there were. This is just clear and blatant. A man got murdered. People are grifting off of it. They're blaming, one group, trying to take that group's rights away for some fucking reason. The lies absolutely do not add up in any fashion or form. They aren't backing down from those lies even after being called out about it because they don't give a fuck. They're the ones in power. like, what the fuck do we do? And just today, it's all over social media. I want to make sure it is actually something that did come up in court, not just social media blowing up about it. But now they're saying that the bullet that they, I guess, did take out because the whole thing of an autopsy that was or was not done didn't match the rifle found.
This 30-06 round. Right. So it potentially wasn't a 30-06. Is this what the defense is trying to say?
I don't know.
Or do you think they're just trying to muddy the waters to get this kid?
There hasn't been a perp walk. And I told you earlier about this one and Chuck. Almost did it again with Luigi Mangione.
Yeah.
When was the perp walk? Why is the legal defense not holding press conferences and talking about how this is a bullshit case and this, that, and the other thing? Why is none of this going on that we've seen in every other case before? Why are these two so different? Something's going on, dude. It does not sit easy with me.
None of it sits easy with me. Whenever I want it to be just that simple. I want it to be that, just like JFK. You know, I recently watched the film that they made on the JFK assassination and things like that. And of course, there was so much, Hollywood into that, but it just goes to show it just how simple some of these things can be. Someone saw that opportunity, they took it. Or is this huge conspiracy that Israel didn't like the way Charlie Kirk was speaking about how he was not there? Was this part of Trump's thing where Charlie Kirk jumped in there and said that he wanted the Epstein files released? Is it a conglomerate of both? Is this the fact that they knew that Charlie Kirk could potentially be a presidential candidate for the conservative movement?
Or they took him out so they can turn him into a martyr?
Yes. Was this part of from the Democratic side? Was this the martyr that they were trying to make? Which we saw they did take full advantage
most definitely.
Of that part immediately. I mean, we have murals here in this town.
He went from only having
that everybody drives by and goes, well, man, that was a 15 minutes of fame sort of thing.
He went from having like 1.1 million followers, and he's best known for the "Change My Mind" meme, to, last I looked, and it was just shortly after the shooting, up to 14 million followers. Why y'all following afterwards? Why didn't you follow him when he was alive when you supposedly loved him?
Well, I just remember the meme where they took probably AI and they made his forehead just unbelievably crazy big. And I was like, who is that? Is that like a real person? I knew the name shortly before that happened. And is that part of the design too?
He's been doing it for a minute. I've been using that image of him with that.
Right. But I didn't know who that was. I saw the picture way before I knew who that was.
Most people didn't know because he just goes to college campuses to,
Right.
Yeah, he destroyed some college kids because they're young. He's 30-something. He knows how to control the narrative. Okay, you can win debates in that manner, especially if you're going to take the stance of, I can't be wrong.
I get it. But on the other end of that, maybe that was part of, there's no question.
That was his grip.
There's no question of conservative drumming up, votes for later. They have put in the work. Look at the 100-year plan. This has been in place for a long time. I believe that's all part of that. So I'm not going to badmouth Charlie Kirk in that. He definitely could have been a presidential candidate for the conservative movement. But the thing is look at how we're reacting to all of that. Look at the conspiracy surrounding that. And is it really a government thing? Because the things that I'm seeing, I'm not necessarily at this point writing off the fact that there was something in his necklace, that there was something down here very much closer to him, other than way up on this grassy knoll. It was on the top of a building, right? But I think of the grassy knoll. A 30-06 from that way, and then all of a sudden it's coming out here, and the trajectory, even from the layman like myself, doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And no exit wound, definitely coming from a country boy from West Texas knows that doesn't make any sense because I have seen what that does to a deer carcass through both shoulders, but yet a neck of a human.
And the amount of cameras on that man.
Right.
I mean, he's been doing this for a minute. There's usually a camera somewhere recording the.
There was 1,000 of them, but that just goes to show.
Covered.
But this is also why I'm also on the other end of that, because they knew there were going to be 100 cameras on it.
Yeah.
And to still pull off what people like Candace Owens are trying to say, that this may have come from this angle, this may have been some kind of little explosive device.
I did see one that claimed that it was practical effects, that it was just a squib that went off. If that was, just if, huge, gigantic if that was practical effects, they will downright just own Hollywood for the next 100 fucking years. I'm sorry.
Is this like the 223 round that just happened to graze Trump's ear and he doesn't even have a scar?
Oh, look at the photos that are incredibly zoomed in. Dude, it's so obvious he just bit his lip and then flung the blood up on his ear. Because how are you going to get shot from the front in the ear and then have it on your mouth? It's such fucking bullshit.
No, I mean,
I
don't want to question it. I just want it to be simple, and that's
it's not going
happened.
to be. It's not going to be simple with this administration.
I don't want to play into conspiracy as a.
Why did the crane lower the flag? Why was the operator sitting there? Okay, now's a good time because the press had finally moved to this angle. Dude, no.
The crane where? Wait a minute. You went left on me there.
Oh, yeah, when Trump got shot and he comes up with the fist thing in there, you watch the crane lower the flag down behind him. And that was right after the security had moved all the press personnel to that one side to get the angle.
Well, just the...
They're turning me into a conspiracy theorist because the shit is making sense. It makes too much sense.
Okay, so let me throw a conspiracy at your conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Maybe this is part of the flood the zone where they said, look, this happened. We can muddy the waters because they're going to be infighting for weeks over this. Maybe it was just that simple. Maybe the things that happened, maybe when Trump took a bullet for us. Maybe when Charlie Kirk was shot.
It's just that simple that a Trump supporter would try to shoot Trump.
Okay.
And the reason why he said the words.
What better way to flood the zone?
Famous?
What better way to flood the zone?
I'm making a point. He said, allegedly, said the words, "I'm going to be famous." Do you not remember when Reagan got shot?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No.
He did it to get the attention of like a 14-year-old girl. Remember the movie Taxi Driver?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it to get her attention. Think about that.
You've lost me at all of that. I just want things to be...
Okay, I'm going to be pulling up shit for you. Go ahead, keep talking.
No, definitely show me, because you're talking about Reagan when they had an attempt on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Was it 1988? 84?
Yeah.
Okay. I was literally under 10 years old in all of that.
Congratulations. You grew up and, just because it happened yesterday doesn't mean it was deleted from history. You've had your entire life to learn about this.
But I've never been...
Yeah, he did it for the attention of Jodie Foster, by the way.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, but she was 14?
Some shit like that.
Hey. Did he buy insurance, though? Because it sounds like he needed it.
Yeah, John Hinckley Jr. shot him to get the affection of Jodie Foster.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Reagan. My bad.
Yes. He shot Ronald Reagan to get the attention of Jodie Foster.
I know. I thought
the whole thing was
because I thought this was a conspiracy that Reagan had this planned to get the attention.
No.
Okay.
The fuck are you on about? Okay, goddamn it. I will start the fuck over again. crazy Donald Trump supporter goes out and tells people he's going to be famous.
Right.
He looked up the locations of both politicians. Trump was closer geographically. Goes to do that to become famous to get attention.
Right.
Just like another crazy motherfucker, he tried to kill the president for attention.
Yeah.
That's not a conspiracy. We could very much have two crazy motherfuckers try to take a president out for fucking attention.
Right. Well, I was on the whole conspiracy of Trump and thought that this was a Reagan thing. That's what I'm saying. I don't want my mind clouded with conspiracy. I want it to be that simple. I want that someone saw that there probably wouldn't be that great of security at a college and was like, hey, I'm fixing to make myself famous. I'm a dumbass.
It's 45 years ago.
Just like these kids that...
1981.
Okay, I was literally 3 years old in 1981.
And there was not a damn thing stopping you from learning about it. There's like a co-worker of ours who he said he had no knowledge of January 6th because he worked that day.
Right.
We don't delete all media and every fucking thing on Earth every fucking day. You can learn about it after the fact.
I can tell you I've never had any inclination to look into the Reagan attempt.
How did you not accidentally hear about it?
No, I know I heard about it. No specifics. Never.
Really?
I took it at value, which is what I want to do with the Charlie Kirk.
Your Second Amendment, that's where the Brady Bill came from.
From the attempt on Reagan.
Yes.
Now, I do remember.
Brady's the one that died.
Okay.
Or got shot. Hang on.
Now,
let me bring it up.
Nothing I remember. It's something that they actually still use is a clip of Reagan talking about how he reacted after the attempt on his life and talked about how liberals were going to take your guns and this and that. And they used that to push the Second Amendment claim. I have seen that part. But no, I've never cared. And I've never cared about what Candace is talking about. I've never cared about them talking about Trump's ear. I just want my media to be facts and what it is. And
that's dead.
So cloudy and muddy.
That is
and it
dead.
has me actually starting to buy into sort of this thing. And what started this is me bringing up the fact that finally TPUSA,
TPUSA,
has said cease and desist on defamation. Now, I don't even know that this has anything to do necessarily with this specifically, because like you say, there's going to be that. And, there's a lot of fakes out there that's coming out because TPUSA supposedly, which I guarantee this is fake, has sent the same cease and desist to Drewski. Have you seen this new thing?
I have not seen that new one yet.
Well, have you seen what Drewski did?
No.
As far as Erica Kirk and what's going on with Drewski and Erica Kirk.
Oh, yes, that was great.
So I want you to show the clip of Drewski coming out. Now, mind you, that Drewski not one time during this, and I think this is his legal standing, he never mentioned Erica Kirk, TPUSA, or anything.
No, I know.
But he came out doing this.
A clear parody. Clear and blatant parody.
And it made everyone on both sides hit the roof. I mean, in positive and negative, it was just the most, people that want to talk about that you're making fun of someone's death, it's not that. This has nothing to do with anyone making fun.
Well, if she has such a problem with what he did, maybe she shouldn't have done it in the first place. He's literally reenacting her actions, her behavior.
Right. And that's kind of that's exactly my thoughts on it. It's like, hey, at this point, this doesn't have anything to do with Charlie Kirk's death, other than that was the original thing that started this whole thing. But we're talking about your reaction to losing your husband and the father of your two children. And some of the reactions and some of the hot mic takes and the things you've said, the way you've acted.
Question.
I mean, it's out there.
Have you ever seen pictures of them with their kids?
No,
I have.
I haven't.
Not a damn one of them has their faces.
What?
They're all of the back of their heads. How does that happen?
With their family photos?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Why are the photos only of the back of the children's heads?
I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. I understand why you would want to protect their identity or their look.
Yeah.
But how does that happen accidentally?
That's the only ones that are
right.
there. Well, maybe that's
It's
what they
so
were
fucking
trying to.
weird.
Maybe they're like, hey, we don't want our kids out there.
Okay, you don't take
Charlie
pictures
Kirk
of
knew there were
Then
freaks out there.
don't publish pictures of them.
I mean, was this not from media that
It's
just
their
happened to catch
media,
it?
themselves, everybody.
Right. But again, it goes back.
It's so fucking weird that it's only ever the back of their heads.
It just goes back to me just wanting to take things at their value. I just want to take things at their
That's
value.
dead.
I'm okay with, but Drewski, I mean, this guy, I mean, he's no.
Did you see the one where he was a redneck?
Yes.
The makeup artistry on that is a master class.
His makeup artist needs some sort of award.
Yes.
Like, even with the Erica Kirk makeup. Because, like I said, he didn't say it was Erica Kirk. I'm saying it was Erica Kirk because it was spot on. Even though it really looked a whole lot like this lady at CPAC right here. That wanted to get up and dance and act like she was something because she really looked a whole lot like her as well. But yeah, I mean, Drewski, this guy is just getting out, causing waves.
I don't think he's causing them. I think he's riding them, and they're just jealous because he's riding it better than they are.
I mean, hey, that's another grift. It's another grift.
He's grifting off the grift.
Right. Hate on it if you want, but there's money there. There's money in everything. There's money in death. There's money in all of this,
It's just mind-blowing.
It really is. I just want...
Hey, I wonder if TPUSA has pedo insurance. Boy, that'd be a good one to look up. Let's look at the insurance policy on child molestation with their church.
Do they have a church?
Whatever it's called.
Oh, surely they probably got every insurance that you could buy.
Ooh. Ooh.
Did you cut the camera?
No. Now, it does say that there have been no direct information linking Turning Point USA to having that type of insurance, but they have faced various allegations and legal issues in the past. Assault and harassment charges, court diversion programs, sexual misconduct allegations. TPUSA, you get secrets.